Distorted Fate, written by Silvac. Chapter 19, Promise.
Hey Shorty, how was your last job?
I don't want to talk about it, and stop calling me Shorty, Callan.
Hey, when everyone is over a head taller than you, the name sticks. Besides, why don't you want to talk about it? Were the natives trying to tie you up and roast you over a spit? Or did you end up going to another wild planet where you were chased by giant newborn bugs again?
It was a planet with a sapient species. Does that satisfy your curiosity?
Come on, Shorty, that barely tells me anything. We all have embarrassing stories to tell, so why not tell us your latest one?
There was a Venonite infestation.
Ouch. Were there any efforts to rescue the natives?
No, the infestation is too far along. The VDI had to wipe the planet clean. I was barely able to get out alive.
It always sucks when the Venonized get a whole...
Yeah! I said as I woke from a sudden feeling of something cold and wet hitting me in the face. Opening my eyes, I saw the Crusaders above me with a concerned Cheerly with Scootaloo holding on to an empty glass.
Scootaloo, I don't think you should be waking ponies like that,
Sweetie Belle said.
She's awake now, so no harm done,
Scootaloo said, only to receive glares from her companions. Aether, are you alright? What happened? Cheerily asked. Wait, why was I Oh, yeah, that sun and moon deal. How the hell can these ponies move the moon, much less the sun? Rolling onto my hooves, I stood up as I sheepishly said,
Sorry, I am fine, just was surprised by what I heard. I'm fine.
By what you heard? You mean about the princesses raising the sun and the moon? Cheerily asked as the class tilted their heads in confusion. Grand. Guess it's short story time now.
I never learned, that, or anything from before, so I did not know that someone raised the sun. Thought it did it by itself,
I said as I rubbed the back of my head with a hoof.
How could you not know the princesses raised the sun and moon?
Diamond Tiara said, which earned her a stern look from Cheerly. Now Diamond, you can't blame Aether for not knowing since she came from a different culture. It may have been possible that they didn't hear of the princesses before. Now everyone back to your seat, it's time to continue the lesson. As I returned to my seat, Cheerly continued with the history lesson, which honestly made little sense to me, but I'm gonna just chalk it up to magic. So I just sat there, trying to make heads or tails of the lesson until it was lunchtime, at which point Cheerly dismissed the class. Classes are only in the morning. That explains why these fools are so behind in their education. As we filed out of the classroom, the Crusaders crowded around me as Scootaloo asked,
Hey Aether, do you have any more awesome ideas for a cutie mark like that rock climbing one?
Are these Phyllis gluttons for punishment? I thought to myself as I gave Scootaloo a blank stare before giving her a twisted grin as an idea came to mind.
Why yes, I do have some ideas. Are you sure you want to do that, Scootaloo?
Sweetie Belle asked.
Yeah, I don't think it's a very good idea,
Applebloom said as the two Phyllis looked up at the small obstacle course that I set up in some alleyway through the use of boxes and discarded wooden boards. I managed to set things up so that it was a course perfect for the practice of parkour, though explaining the matter was difficult to say the least. Eventually, I had to resort to giving them a live demonstration as I vaulted over and slid under various obstacles, eventually leading to a sort of climbing section on some wooden crates where I demonstrated a wall jump at the nearest portion of the alley. Apparently, by the expression of wonder the Phillies had, this wasn't something you saw every day in this world.
Hey, if Aether can do it, so can I,
Scootaloo said as I simply watched from the roof I was casually lying down on. While Scootaloo was confident that she could repeat my performance, I had my money on her messing up before she even got to the wall jump. Before the other two Crusaders could say a thing, Scootaloo had already started, dashing down the alleyway to the series of wooden boards propped up on boxes of various sizes. As I watched her, she leapt over the first one, then tried to slide once she reached the ground underneath the next one, only to collide with the box holding the board up. Her crash instantly stopped her momentum, which only served to cause the board the box was holding up to come down on her head.
Ooh, that has got to hurt.
Sweetie said as Scootaloo got up from the mess and resumed her run. She jumped over the third and fourth board, but misjudged the fifth one that was built for sliding under as she tried to jump that one as well. Instead, her hoof caught onto the edge of the board, causing her to fall down face first into the dirt. If only there was some way for me to record this, I thought to myself with a chuckle as I watched Scootaloo get up and wipe her face clean. Still determined to mimic my own moves, she pressed on, jumping onto the crates near me for the wall jump. Once she reached the top of the crate, she jumped onto the wall next to them, then launched herself off of it. Apparently, confidence can only get one so far, for instead of landing onto the opposite wall with her hooves, she instead landed with her face, followed by the rest of her body. Stifling a laugh, I simply watched as Scootaloo slid down the wall for a moment before peeling off it, landing on her back as the other two Crusaders ran up to her with concern shown in their faces.
Scootaloo, are you alright?
Apple Bloom asked as she helped Scootaloo onto her hooves.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Scootaloo said.
I told you that you were not ready for the last part.
I commented, watching the three from my perch above them. As Scootaloo mumbled to herself and her face begins to redden, Sweetie asked, "How did you get so good at this?"
This is simple, but I had a lot of practice. Also, do not feel bad, Scootaloo. When I first started, I landed on my face a lot too.
I admitted, hoping that the fact that I had similar mishaps on my first try at parkour would cheer her up. Thankfully, it worked as Scootaloo chuckled to herself as she said,
"You probably landed on your face so many times that you broke your muzzle."
Rolling my eyes, I jumped down onto the crates only to hear someone yell out,
"What in tarnation? What are you fillies up to now?"
Looking down the alley, I saw Applejack coming down on us, fuming with anger as she carried a cart of apples via some sort of saddle. Raising an eyebrow, I jumped off the box as I saw the Crusaders grinning awkwardly as Apple Bloom said,
"Hi there, sis. What are you doing here?"
"I was walking back to the farm when I plumb saw Aether jumping off a roof and that..." Applejack paused as she looked at the rest of the alleyway before continuing, "Obstacle course you darn fillies had set up." As the trio began to sweat, I saw it was time for me to take over as I said,
"What do you think? We are crusading for our cutie marks."
Looking at the alleyway one more time, Applejack gave me a stern look as she said,
"Let me guess, this was your idea, Aether. Didn't I tell you to not give these fillies dangerous ideas?" "This is safe. Nothing here is dangerous,"
I said, deciding that after being caught in the rock climbing and now this, there was no point in hiding that I knew how to handle myself in situations where one has to take odd measures to get something done.
"Nothing here is dangerous? You plumb jumped off the roof of a house." "It is safe when you know what you are doing." "You are a young filly. I doubt that you know what you're doing,"
Applejack said as she glared at me. Giving her a huff, I decided to demonstrate my wall climbing again, and before Applejack could say or do anything about it, I was on the rooftop again.
"Do you think that I do not know what I'm doing now?"
I asked, challenging her as the Crusaders gaped at my open defiance. Blinking in shock, Applejack shook her head clear before giving me a stern look again.
"Now look here, Aether. This kind of stuff ain't something a filly should do or even know about." "Well, if the filly is normal, but if the filly has been living alone for 13 years, then maybe this might not be so strange to know,"
I said, glaring back at her, causing her look to change from anger to shock.
"Well, I mean, Aether, you still..."
Applejack tried to say before I decided to hammer my point home.
"Applejack, I have lived by myself for 13 years. They were hard years, and I had to go through things that are not easy. Some dangerous things. I do not want to talk about them, and I cannot explain them since I still do not have the words to explain them yet."
Alright. I won't argue on if you are really able to do that, but you still shouldn't be showing the fillies how to do that stuff. Now I want you to make a pinky promise that you won't show the Crusaders that kind of stuff again."
"Pinky promise? There is a promise named after Pinky?"
I asked as I tilted my head.
"Yeah, it goes like this. Cross my heart and hope to fly, stick a cupcake in my eye,"
Sweetie Belle said as she placed a hoof over her eye.
"Is that needed?"
I asked as I looked at Applejack again with a skeptical look who only gave me a firm nod. Sighing, I said,
Cross my heart and hope to fly, stick a cupcake in my ow!
As I repeated what Sweetie Belle did, except I poked my eye with my hoop. Next time I should close it if I ever had to do that weird promise again.
Good, now remember Aether, breaking a promise would be losing a pony's trust in you, and losing a friend's trust is the fastest way to lose a friend forever.
Applejack told me, to which I was about to roll my eyes to when suddenly one of the nearby boxes opened to reveal Pinky's head and stopped right before my face.
Forever!
Pinky yelled in my face, to which I yelped and swung a hoof at her, only for her to dodge it.
I was ready for that one, sorry for surprising you,
Pinky said before disappearing into the box as its lid closed. Rushing to the box, I opened it to find nothing inside. My mind completely numb, I looked at the rest of the ponies with a flabbergasted face.
Yeah, that's Pinky for ya, and you don't want to break a Pinky promise or she'll get ya.
Apple Bloom said, to which the others gave a nod to. I think I just screwed myself over, I thought to myself as I simply stared at them with my dumbfounded face. Yeah, I think you just did, Aether. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this next chapter of Distorted Fate, and if you did, hit that like button and subscribe, and here you have a picture of Pinky. Bye!